What is up, YouTube? Thanks for coming back to the channel. In this video, I'm just basically going to talk off the top about mindset and why it's so crucial in achieving the goals you have for yourself. So let's break down what I mean when I say mindset. Now, we need to have the proper mindset to achieve the goals that we want to achieve, but what exactly does that mindset look like? Now, I think the best way to explain this is to start off with giving you guys a brief story and giving you some context on how I shifted my mindset. So, as I started to take my fitness more seriously and my nutrition more seriously, a lot of my success, looking back on it now, stemmed from the fact that I believed that I was capable of achieving the most amount of results, way more than the average person. And I held myself to that standard, right? And because I held myself to that standard, my thoughts and my actions aligned with my standards. And so I would think of myself, as I still do, as somebody that can get into shape easily. Because I know that fitness is easy. It's not, or I should say it's simple. It's not easy, but the steps are pretty simple, right? It's okay, X, Y, and Z. So I just knew if I followed the plan and I just did everything that I needed to do, then I would have the results I needed. So it was just a matter of trying hard and believing that you're the type of person that can accomplish these things. And when I started to understand that my mindset was key to unlocking more, that's when I started to really take having the proper mindset seriously. And so having that mindset will allow you to, again, be aligned with the actions and the thoughts you're having and your beliefs around it. And it's going to make it much more likely you achieve your goals and get better results, especially with your fitness, when you have that mindset, right? And one more thing I want to quickly mention is when it comes to looking at these things, you need to make it look as easy as possible. Like, bro, when I say make it look as easy as possible, if you have these tasks that you think are daunting, challenging, extremely challenging to overcome, whatever, you're going to build up a lot of friction and not want to take these goals, and it's going to make it that much more difficult. So know that these things are challenging, but start to find the enjoyment in them and the fulfillment in them, and look for the fun that comes from them. Fun doesn't always have to be easy, right? You can do something hard that gives you a fun, fulfilling feeling, and especially those hard, gruesome tasks that are not by any means an easy feat to accomplish. Those are oftentimes, if not all of the times, the best feelings right afterwards. So have the proper mindset, but also don't make these challenging tasks appear as challenging in your mind. Break them down, make them more simple. Like, literally simplify things. The more complex these things are, the more friction your brain ties to it, and the more that you're going to not want to do this thing. The easier and more simple you make it seem by breaking these things down, the easier it is for you to stick with these habits. So break down your habits and focus on a few key elements that will allow you to thread the needle and improve your physique, gain the muscle, and be consistent. My phone is still with us, boys. But seriously, like, have the proper mindset, because without the proper mindset, okay, let's see if we can keep this going, boys. Have the proper mindset, because, boys, without the proper mindset, you're just, in a spot where not only are you not taking the proper actions, but you also are not expanding your mind to figure out new solutions to your problems. So if you're stuck in the same spot that you've been stuck for weeks, months, years, then it's time to start to look at solutions to these problems, because as cliche as it is, if you're doing the same tasks repetitively over and over again, you will eventually get a result, right? Now, if those tasks are the correct, the ones that are going to improve your fitness, your physique, and your mindset, your health, then that result that you experience will be the one that you want. right? But if you're closer to taking actions that aren't the proper steps, you're actually going to be getting much further away from your goals. And so you need to choose which side you're going to be on. If you can work towards bettering your mentality, having the right mindset, and working day in and day out, every single day, working towards these goals, and you will achieve any result you have for yourself. And so back to my story, to kind of summarize that, when I was working on building muscle, working on staying lean and getting leaner, building these muscles up, getting stronger in the gym, I looked at it as a piece of cake. And now, why did I look at it as a piece of cake? Well, one, I knew that, it was challenging to build muscle. That's what I definitely looked at it as. But I flipped the switch, right? I flipped the perspective, and I looked at it. I started to look at it from, rather than this is challenging to build muscle, I started to look at it as what I'm currently doing in the gym and in the kitchen is not allowing me to get ideal results, but I'm making a slight amount of progress. Now imagine if I scaled to this and I did the most amount of volume possible, and I did these things more consistent, way more consistent over the long term, and I did more than the average person. When I started to have that belief in myself as it's easy to get into shape, I just knew I needed to do these things, right? And so going to the gym 2, sometimes 3 times a day, going to the gym maybe to do weights and then do cardio, and even times where I worked out with weights twice in a day plus cardio. These sorts of habits, I knew that, okay, not that I'm trying to beat the next person, but I want to achieve the best result. And okay, like the average person is working out 3-4 times a week. I'm working out 7, 10, maybe 15 times a week, depending on the week, right? And it's because, okay, I knew that these things were not challenging to me. As much as they were, I looked at them as easy feats, and just knew I just needed to follow the plan and do more of what was working. Now, was I getting the result I wanted by going to the gym and following the nutritional strategy that I had at the time? No. To keep it a buck, I was not. But I started to see a slight amount of progress because I had been doing those habits over enough time, and the consistency was adding up and piling up. And I was improving, and I was maintaining some of my muscle. And as you start to build up some muscle, it's going to be a little bit easier to maintain it if you can do it over the span of a few years. And so as I start to see more of these things, I really, dialed in. I went all in on these goals and these things, and I started to see more tangible results. And when I started to see the progress, I continued to double down. Because one thing I'm big on is if you're seeing success from something, especially if you've never seen success from it before, as soon as you see the slight amount of success, bro, go all in, do way more of that if you want to get the result. Because maybe what you're doing is working, right? So, okay, like maybe the strategy you're following, you're seeing results and it's been a couple weeks. Okay, like do it longer, right? And maybe, add more to the fire, right? Like add in more habits if you've been consistent with these base ones, right? But having the right mindset is extremely crucial if you want to achieve the results you want. And the amount of people that I grew up with, and nothing against them, but it's just the difference between mindset, right? A lot of these people that, will ask me for fitness advice, or will, say to me like, oh, I don't know how you get into such good shape. Those are the same people that when I was going to the gym 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 times a week, they were saying that I was overtraining, right? Now to the average person, there we go. Let's see if we can keep this up here, boys. So to the average person, that's overtraining for them, right? But that's because they only have the threshold that they have. They don't understand that I have a much higher threshold. I'm just gonna hold it. I have a much higher threshold for gaining muscle. I have a much higher threshold for losing body fat, which means I have so much more that I'm capable of, but I also have so much more that I can lose if I don't maintain these things, right? And the reason for that is that I've been so consistent. So the benefit to that is I'm able to recover so much greater than the average person because I'm consistently in the gym over a decade, right? In the gym, consistently, day in and day out. And I've learned that, okay, my body adapts to what I give it as a stimuli. So if I give my body more volume, more weight, etc., in a safe, progressive manner, of course, my body is going to respond to that. And so I knew that over time, these things were going to compound. And it was just a matter of time before I achieved the results I wanted. I'm nowhere near, the physique that I want to accomplish. But I've made, substantial progress in coming from where I was before. And the main reason is I started to double down on the things that were working. And doubling down on the things that were working started off with me believing that it was possible for me to achieve the results. And I simply started to just look at these things as, bro, watch me do all of this work. Watch me get into absolute insane shape. Now, again, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm, far above where I was in the past, right? And so the nice thing about fitness is you're always working on getting better. There's never a point where you feel like you've checked every box off. And that's the nice thing about fitness is you have to earn it, you have to maintain it, you have to keep it. And it's not something that can be bought or earned or traded. You literally need to earn it, to work for it, and then keep it and keep up with the actions to keep having the result. And it's one of those few things, if not the only thing in the world, that you need all of those things. You literally cannot, just maintain these things unless you're putting in active work and consistent strategic work, right? And so having that mindset of like, yo, I know this is easy for me. Now, is it going to feel easy? No. And is it actually easy? No, but I'm looking at it as easy. And I'm breaking it down and I'm smashing these challenging beliefs down into like pieces of cake in a sense, right? And I'm biting those pieces of cake up and I'm just eating the whole cake, bro. I'm looking at it like, yo, I can't fail if I don't fear these things. If I'm not afraid of going to the gym 2-3 times a week, 2-3 times a day, I don't fear training consistently, training hard. I don't fear eating healthy. I don't fear researching, finding out the right way to move. I don't fear any of these things. And I'm actually committed, so I'm going to put in the actions. And I know now what to do, and I'm learning and getting feedback, but I'm following through consistently over time. And this is all stemming because my belief tells me I will become this individual, right? I will have this result that I want. And if you don't have the proper beliefs, then you will never achieve the results that you want. And that's just simply because you will continue to tell yourself, it's not that big of a deal. Bro, you know how many times I've thought to myself, oh, one meal's not going to kill me. Oh, one workout missing it is not going to kill me. You're right, bro. It's not going to kill you. But you know what is going to kill you is you consistently doing these habits over time. Now, it's simply the fact that you are turning yourself down. You're thinking, oh, what if I ate this healthy meal? Nah, screw it, right? And then you don't do that thing. Or, for example, you say, I'm going to go to the gym, and then maybe you're like, screw it, I'm not going. Over time, these once in a while things, you missing those workouts, that's not what's hurting you. What's really hurting you, bro, is you're consistently telling yourself, I'll put it off for later. I'll do it later. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that serious for me. It's not that important to me, right? Like, I don't care about it that much. I'm not willing to go above and beyond and do everything in my capacity to achieve the tangible result I want. And it's just that simple, bro. You are not willing to do every single thing in your power. And that's why you don't have the results that you want. But if you are ready and willing to actually take the necessary steps, then you will achieve that result. It doesn't take, 1 week, 1 month. Like, it takes some time depending on where you're at and where you want to go. But if you fully lock in, you fully commit yourself, you go all in on these goals, and you have the proper belief that allows you to know, okay, I am this type of person that takes these consistent actions over time. You're decreasing all the friction, that's coming with, should I do this thing? Should I not do it? Because you are that individual. And you literally become a savage, bro, because you start to follow through on every single thing that you tell yourself you're going to do. And that creates a killer mentality. And the killer mentality is what allows you to go into the gym and smash through some heavy weight. It's what allows you to go into the gym, and train hard, right? It's what allows you to stay consistent with your nutrition, even though, you're not seeing the results you want because you're looking long picture, right? You're looking long term, knowing, okay, stay the course, like consistency, right? And with this consistency, you're building and instilling inside of yourself these habits. So have the proper mindset. And it's, of course, easier said than done, but start taking the actions that allow you to have the mindset. So start taking actions that prove you, or prove to yourself, that you are the individual you say you are. So if you say you're, a disciplined person, okay, prove it to yourself, bro. Start disciplining yourself. Start doing, uneasy tasks. Start doing these difficult things that you don't want to do, but they're going to yield you a greater result. And stop looking for, the easy reward, the short-term, like dopamine hit where it's like, okay, easy, instant success. That doesn't happen, especially with fitness, bro. That does not happen. You need to work for it and grind for it. But what's nice about that is, on the flip side, once you get to the other side and you finally achieve the results, nobody can take that from you, bro. Nobody can take that from you, because you've earned that. You've worked for that. Through all the times that you had ups and downs, and all the times that you didn't think, you were going to achieve the results, and all the times that you felt great, right? Every single emotion, you continued to stick with the plan and follow the course. And now look at the other side. You've achieved this result, number one. But number two, you now know how to maintain these habits and keep them long term. But most importantly, you've proven to yourself that you can achieve the things that you put your mind to if you follow the path. And you'll notice that in that journey, you have so much strength, right? Like, you just willed that goal into existence. And usually it's that concept right there that allows you to start taking way more action on your life and developing the person that you want to be. Because you've now seen what is possible from what you have put forth. And you're like, okay, I achieved my physique in the gym, right? Like, I got into great shape. But you start to look at things differently now, because now you know that there's a lot more you can do, and you have all the strength and this confidence. You know that you are competent in this skill, and you know that you can achieve this thing, and you are confident in yourself. But the other thing that's, I think, a little bit more important to think about is the fact that along that journey, you become an individual that has new skills, and those new skills allow you to master the new goals you set for yourself much easier. And you also, start to just think of yourself differently. If you're consistently going to the gym, consistently prioritizing your health, consistently putting yourself first, you will start winning, yes, and achieving the results you want. But most importantly, you'll become an individual that is unstoppable, right? Somebody that can continue working on their goals, continue improving, even when times get tough. And somebody that can push way further than the average person, right? Continue pressing and achieve maximum success. Now, whatever endeavor in life you're looking at, success is possible, but you need to take the action steps. And those actions, they all start from, your mindset. Believe that you are the individual that you want to be. Start aligning your beliefs and your actions with that individual. And, you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish, especially if you're doing it over a consistent period of time. And, you're cutting out distractions and you're putting your focus in on the most important things. You'll be surprised at what health can do for your life. It will improve all aspects of your life, but most people don't look at it that way. Most people don't look at, if I had the ideal physique, if I had, my health as my main priority, it would improve my relationships, it would improve my confidence. That would transfer over into me, improving better, or I should say, doing better at work, etc., right? So find the mentality that is going to, and instill it into yourself. Have that mentality that's going to allow you to achieve these things. Because again, we can take all the actions in the world, but if we truly don't believe that we are capable of accomplishing this goal, then one will start to, fall off and not be aligned, and start taking some of those actions and stop taking some others. But also, it's going to be very challenging if you're constantly fighting friction with yourself as to why you cannot achieve something. So believe it's possible, take the necessary action steps, and continue hammering away. And pretty soon, bro, you will have, the goals that you set up for yourself. But you need to believe it's possible, because nobody's going to believe that it's possible if you don't believe it, right? And If you don't believe in it, then you're never going to follow through. So follow through, because accountability, staying the course, holding yourself accountable, and becoming consistent over the long haul, that is what truly shapes success, right? And that's what's allowed me to gain success in the gym and building muscle, is because I've done this for over 12 years, right? And I've stayed consistent with a few key habits. So bro, take action and have the proper mindset, and you can actually crush your goals.